What's going on, broskies? It is Lupus, and in today's video I want to address a lot of your guys' concerns with DICE making the upcoming Star Wars Battlefront game, and I want to try and put them at ease and tell you guys why I don't think you should worry about it. Now, the main reason why people are worried about DICE making the upcoming Star Wars Battlefront game is simply because of what happened with Battlefield 4. It's no secret that a lot of mechanics within the game were very broken and did not function properly, such as the netcode, the gunplay, and all sorts of other things within the game just do not work. And ever since this happened, a lot of people have just lost all hope in DICE and decided that at this point, they will never pre-order anything that they ever make again. They're not going to pre-order Mirror's Edge, they're not going to pre-order Star Wars Battlefront. Nothing that they make after this point, until they do something good, is going to make them pre-order a game or even look at it without analyzing every solitary detail to try and figure out if there's going to be something wrong with it. And honestly, I think this is stupid, because as much as I think Battlefield 4 does have so many things wrong with it and so many things are broken in it, and I rage all the time while playing it, that doesn't make me lose faith in DICE as a developer. And I'm going to try and explain why that's so. So, when Battlefield 4 was in the making, DICE had every intention of making an amazing game. They had put all their efforts toward that game, trying to make the Frostbite 3 engine look absolutely amazing. They wanted to introduce Levolution, all these new ideas that DICE had come up with to spice up the game in Battlefield 4, and it seemed so promising. They worked so hard at trying to get it, and honestly, they did successfully do a lot of it. Levolution in the game is definitely something awesome. Now, at this point, a lot of us are used to it, and it's nothing new, but when it did come out, that was something new and groundbreaking, and the graphics of the game are still, in my opinion, some of the best graphics for a first-person shooter, and it looks really, really good. But at the same time, as they were working on that, they did kind of about all the netcode and tick rate things that definitely make the game run the way it is supposed to. But I don't think they intentionally did that, because even though this is something major where forgetting that does change the core gameplay and does affect the entire game, I don't think that that's what they were aiming for. It's not like they decided to throw out a game and they were just like, hey, let's just give them something to hold them off for the next year or something. They decided that they wanted to add all this new stuff, the Levolution, the graphics, the naval warfare, all this stuff that they wanted to add to the game to spice it up and make it different from Battlefield 3 were all great ideas, but they didn't necessarily carry it out in the exact way that they should have. Now, they didn't just say screw the tick rate. What I'm assuming is what happened is they decided that since Battlefield 3, which was very similar to Battlefield 4 in graphics as well as destruction, they figured that the same tick rate from that game would work for Battlefield 4. And I can understand why they might think that, but when you add on top of Battlefield 3 better graphics and Levolution, and the fact that when waves move on one screen in naval warfare, they'll move on another person's screen as well, all these new things that they added within there, we're going to need an upping in the tick rate in order to work and run smoothly, but obviously they didn't notice that. Now, just because all this happened does not mean that DICE is going to mess up every single game after that. I would understand if they were just some lazy developing team, like some of the Call of Duty guys have been in the past, where they're just lazy and kind of give us a reskinned version of the previous game. But Battlefield 4 is vastly different from Battlefield 3 in the way it feels and the way it looks, and just overall, it still looks like a Battlefield game. So it's not going to be like comparing Battlefield to Killzone or anything, but it is going to have some similarities. But in the Battlefield franchise, it is vastly different from Battlefield 3, and that's kind of what they aimed for, but it just fell somewhat short. And that doesn't mean that they were lazy. They had high hopes, but they were unable to carry it out. So, with Star Wars Battlefront, I do not believe that DICE is going to be lazy with it. I don't think they're going to sloppily put something together and give us a really crappy Star Wars Battlefront game that somewhat ruins the franchise in a lot of our eyes. And that's what a lot of people are scared of because of what has happened with DICE with Battlefield 4. And I want to let you guys know that DICE is not lazy. DICE is not a lazy developing team who just puts together sloppy work. They put together really, really good games. Just look at all the games we've got besides that. We've got Mirror's Edge 1, we've got BFBC 2, we've got BFBC 1, all the Battlefield games before that, Battlefield 3, all these games were great games that were just extremely fun to play and had a lot of innovation to each one from one to the next. But Battlefield 4, they did mess up, and that happens every once in a while. But it wasn't due to laziness. It was due to their aspiration to aim higher, and they just aimed a little bit too high. They aimed higher than they should have. So with that in mind, realizing that DICE is not a lazy developing team who is going to intentionally give us something sloppy, I have a lot of hope for Star Wars Battlefront, because I feel like DICE is putting a lot of effort into it, because in the trailers that they have shown us so far, DICE has made it clear that they are extremely happy about this project. They're putting all their possible resources that they have into this project. They're going and looking at all the original props from the movies. They're looking back at all the video games that did well, and they're taking everything that they had and putting it into this game and making it something that they themselves will be very proud of. I don't think that Star Wars Battlefront is going to be flawless. I don't think that that's possible. There's really almost no games ever that have been flawless. But I do think that it's going to be better than Battlefield 4. And my reason behind that is Battlefield 4 was kind of like a breath of fresh air for them. They realized that we cannot make certain innovations without looking deeper into the netcode and into the tick rate and all this stuff that affects the core gameplay. So now, I'm sure with Star Wars Battlefront, everything they add to the game to make it more detailed, such as destruction, such as anything that they end up adding to it, they're probably going to look back at the netcode, tweak it, and tweak the tick rate as well, so that they don't have to have a reoccurrence of what happened with Battlefield 4. So overall, I'm looking forward to Star Wars Battlefront beyond any other game at this point for the most part. It's one incredible game that I am so excited for, that I cannot wait for, because I grew up playing Battlefront on my friend's PlayStation 2. I would go over to his house every single day and play the crap out of it. That game was amazing, and I just can't wait for them to make another one. Now, I hope that today I was able to explain to you guys as best as I possibly could why you should not worry about DICE making Star Wars Battlefront, and that you guys should have faith in them to make something that is going to be something really incredible. Even after Battlefield 4, Star Wars Battlefront is definitely going to be something awesome. That is all for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll love to hear your opinions in the comment section down below. But as always, this has been Lupus, and I will catch you guys in the next one.